Hello, everybody. Welcome into Hunterdon Central Stewart Field for today's boys soccer game between the South Brunswick Vikings and your Hunterdon Central Red Devils. My name's Ryder Lunar. Joining me is my partner, Lucas Reed. Lucas, Hunterdon Central having a very good year. They're 6-3-2 so far, though they are coming off of back-to-back losses for the first time. Of course, losing to the number 2 ranked team in Pennington last week, 5-1, and this past Saturday losing 1-0 in a barn burner against Randolph.
Yeah, Central looks to get it back on the horse, Robbie. Having a decent year so far, but 2 straight losses in a row. They need to get this big win against South Brunswick. And overall, Central, a really, really good, solid season. They have a bunch of wins. And, yeah, Robbie, that's basically all you can say. Central, offensively, they're doing great. Grant Frey and Colby Townsend both have 4 goals on the season, which is really great this early in the season. And overall, it's looking to be a great game today. Chase Reinhardt on the bench today, and that's going to be unfortunate in the goal. Instead, Evan Schaffernick going to be in goal for the Red Devils. We need to see him get a bunch of big saves, show some athleticism in the goal, Robbie.
You know, Evan Schaffernack, he's a junior, though he has played 5 games this season. He's made 24 saves, so still not a lack of a goalie here. A pretty good option. Looking forward to next year as well. As for the Red Devils, they do go into tomorrow's game, which is the first game of the 101 Sussex tournament against Wallkill Valley. So, talking to some of the guys earlier today, some of the starters will not be playing as much time as they usually do. As for the South Brunswick Vikings, they're 3-10 on the year, struggling. They're coming off of a loss in pool play in the Greater Middlesex County Tournament against New Brunswick, 2-1. So Lucas, should be interesting to see here. Getting ready for today's kickoff.
Central just got to keep an eye on. So South Brunswick starting them with the ball. They got to keep an eye on Aiden Fung on the South Brunswick Warriors. They're going to be passing to him a lot. He's already got 4 goals on the season, playing a great offensive season so far. We're underway here at Hunterdon Central.
Yeah, absolutely. It was the Vikings who got the ball at first, but now Hunterdon Central trying to send it to midfield. A scrum around midfield. Now here's a push for the Red Devils. Ball sent to the far sideline and out of play. So a good start. You know, something else that the Red Devils have been working on is being aggressive. You know, a couple games ago here at Stewart Field, the Red Devils did win it in first overtime, but they didn't score their first goal until the second half. So that's something that the Red Devils are looking forward to improve on. And talking to junior Brian Grubb earlier, he said if they could get out in front early, then the defense is good enough to be able to lock it down and give them the win. Getting ready now on the far sideline. It is the Vikings who have the ball. Now here's a push for the Red Devils. Dumped in, but the Hunterdon Central attacker will not get there. It will be a Vikings ball. So here's the Vikings goalie. Looks like, it will be a goal kick for the Vikings. Or it looks like it will be all sides. Sent to midfield. Waiting there is Red Devils number 23. That is Logan Dendis. Now out. Here's a push for the Vikings. That was number 4, Ishan Bondre, who sent it deep. As there's Red Devils number 24, Luke Del Corso. The junior sent it back to Evan Schaffernack to try to restart the offense. Here's Del Corso on the near sideline. Looking to pass it there to, I believe that's Hunterdon Central number 11, Jason Pye. But in his way was Ishan Boudre. So the attack back on now, 400 Central. As that one hit off of Dylan Michalski. Now Michalski will look deep here for Red Devils number 8. That's Aaron Townsend. As here's a pass back to the goalie for the Vikings. Picked up here for the Red Devils. Looking there was Pye. But ball goes out of play. So it will be a throw in here for the Red Devils. That's Nikhil Erevan on the near sideline. Good chance here early, Lucas, for Hunterdon Central. Thrown in, knocked away by a Viking. Here's Hunterdon Central now. Fight for the ball on your sideline.
Central's just got to apply that pressure near the South Brunswick goal.
That one picked up by Anand Warner, but sent back into the offensive zone for the Red Devils. Has a good pass there from Dendis, but overall intercepted. So here are the Vikings on a push. That one knocked away by Del Corso and out of play. Lucas, for the Vikings, it has been Rohan Gudetti. It's Adam Fung, who you talked about earlier, who's been leading the way. He has 4 goals this year, so that is a name to watch in today's game.
Yeah, and Central already has 2 scorers that already have 4 goals. As I said earlier, Grant Frey and Colby Townsend. Colby Townsend, the brother of Aaron Townsend, who's also playing up on this varsity squad, Robbie.
Here's Marcos Hernandez, a good chance, closing in on the net. Now to the near sideline, knocked out of play. Looked like it will be the throw-in for the Red Devils. There's Aravind. Letting something develop here for the Red Devils. And no, it will be number 2. That is the junior Noah Beelan. We saw Beelan have a huge throw-in a couple games ago, the last win for the Red Devils. That resulted in that game-winning goal. Throw in, headed but knocked over the net, and will be a goal kick for the Vikings.
I mean, did you see that, Robbie? He threw it all the way into the box. I mean, he's got an arm on him. He's able to get those throw-ins almost as if it's a kick in from the corner.
So here's the goal kick. Kept on the offense by Dendis. Red Devils now send it back to try to reset. That's Beelan to Labate. Now to Hernandez. Aravind looking for a move up the middle, but it's taken away by number 9 on the Vikings. There's Arand Warner. Here's a push there from Barry Solano. As there's a good chance for the Vikings, but it's knocked away by Luke Del Corso. Now here's Jason Pye. Pye to Michalski, now to Aravind. And Dennis, and the Red Devils will look back to go on the attack. Good defense there from Vikings number 6, Isham Bundre. That one knocked out of bounds. It looks like it will be Vikings ball here on the near sideline.
A lot of back and forth so far, Robbie, but overall, Central really applying the pressure more than the Vikings have. Central just got to keep it on their side of the field.
Yeah, here's a good push for the Vikings. Number 9, Warner, but here's Logan Dennis will come up with it. Now will go up the middle. That is Brady Moran. Moran now sends it back to Hernandez. Goes back to Moran, who tried to tap it over to Michalski.
That was a good setup pass there, just deflected off of one of the Vikings.
There's Aravind, but good defense there by Bundre. And a takeaway for South Brunswick. So here's Aiden Fung, again, their lead goal scorer, but it's taken away by Luke Del Corso. Del Corso back to Beelan, and you're seeing how good this defense is early, Lucas, for this Red Devils squad. As really a couple good chances for the Vikings, but not able to even come close to cashing in. As here's Warner again. Nice slot tackle by Dendis. Almost an open net, but knocked out of play by Luke Del Corso. Del Corso all over the ball on defense so far today, Lucas.
I mean, Robbie, you said Central's really applying the pressure on both offense and defense. It's only a matter of fact that Central has already 3 shutouts on the season. I mean, they're playing great defense throughout the whole season, just applying that pressure on defense and getting those goals on offense.
So here's a sub for the Vikings, as that one will go out of play. That is Noah Panthless, who comes into the game. He does have the throw in. Sends it deep into the box, headed by a Red Devil. Shot off but wide. from Barry Solano.
As you said earlier, Robbie, Schaffernick already has 24 saves in the season, so he's played a little bit. He's got experience. He played a lot last year. Reinhardt just moved up the level last year, and now Schaffernick playing starting goalie tonight, and hopefully not much longer. Reinhardt out with a bruised bone, I believe you said. And Reinhardt, one of the best goalies we see in the state, 47 saves in 8 games played, and you want to see him back on the field. But as for now, Schaffernick having a great season. Hopefully we can see a lot more action from him.
Yeah, close call there. Dangerous spot for the Red Devils. It was Ishan Boudre who was all over Luke Del Corso. Almost had an open net, but it was pounced on by Schaffernick. To give the Red Devils back the ball. Will be a Vikings throw in here from the far sideline. Here's Beelen. He'll send it back to Schaffernick. You see a lot of juniors on this Red Devils team, Lucas, and, you know, especially when you see a large part of the team from a certain grade level, that usually will go and help the chemistry because on and off the field, you're going to be together a lot.
And we didn't expect Central to have, you know, that super strong roster this year. They lost a ton of seniors last year. Those seniors moved up, filled up those shoes, and then these juniors came in and really built that roster, and it's going to lead to a really strong season next year and hopefully a strong finish to this season, Robbie.
Yeah, absolutely. There was a big push from Aaron Townsend as Michalski tries to get on it. This one knocked out of play by Del Corso, looking for Jason Pye. Pye not going to get there in time. Here's a throw-in. Good defense there from Aravind. Forces a turnover. Dennis there was looking for Marcos Hernandez, but was intercepted by a Vikings. This one sent deep, but out is Schaffernack to come out and get it. He'll send it deep the other way, and Schaffernack already showing how good that defense is, not being afraid to come out of the box. So this one's dumped in, but it'll be grabbed by the South Brunswick goalie. Waiting there was Aaron Townsend. Excuse me, that was Matthew Santos. Santos, another one of the big goal scorers for the Red Devils. As Michalski tries to get on there. Now he'll send it deep, looking for Moran. Into the corner. Oh, try to keep it in, but whistle blown.
Almost looked like he did keep it in, Robbie. Moran really tried to make an effort to keep it in the corner, maybe get a shot into the box. Couldn't get there. Whistle was blown.
So the Hunterdon Central will keep it in possession off of the throw-in. They'll now look to reset. There's Beelen to Labate on the far side. Now inside to Michalski. Michalski is shot off, but it's just pulled to the left of the goal. And it will be a goal kick for the Vikings. I believe that's Alex Vega in goal today for South Brunswick. That one's set to midfield, headed by Peter Labate, but overall picked up by the South Brunswick Vikings. Here's a big push from number 4. That's Achille Secronder on the far side. Whistle blown and out of play. So here's Schaffernick. He'll send it to the midfield. And bounces over everybody. It's a foot race here. Shot off. Goal for your Hunterdon Central Red Devils. That was Aaron Townsend. Excuse me, Matthew Santos. Big goal here puts the Red Devils out front early. 1-0 Hunterdon Central.
That was just insane, Robbie. Santos beat the foot race out in front of the Vikings, almost flipped it up over the goalie for the Vikings, into the
over
goal.
everybody.
Great
the foot race
heads-up
here.
soccer there from him.
Shot
Matthew
off.
Santos, goal.
Goal for your Hunterdon Central Red
Devils.
Devils. Evan Schaffernick, I mean, that big goal kick went over the heads of everybody and led to that foot race, won by Matthew Santos. And it's 1-0 Hunterdon Central.
And Santos just eyed that one up perfectly. He saw it. That one's going over everybody's head, so he just started moving, beat out everybody, and got the goal.
So the Devils back on the offense. As I say that, it's turned over intercepted by a Viking. But now you see that good defense from the midfielders for Hunterdon Central to go back on the offense. That's Jason Pye on the near side. Sends it back to Michalski. Good defense from Boudre. Now to Brady Moran. Back to Pye. He'll fight through some contact. Into the corner. Good defense there from the Vikings. I believe that was Pantheus.
Jason Pye had almost no chance of getting that one. As you said, Pantheus just almost pushed him to the left, not allowing Pye to even get close to that one.
Yeah, really good setup there between Pye and Michalski. So here's another good chance for the Red Devils on the far sideline. That's Matthew Santos, but it's picked up by Vega. And he'll send it back to midfield for the Vikings. A lot of topspin on that ball, Lucas. It was a good chance for Boudre. After a couple touches from each team, Vikings go back on the offense. Good defense here from Aravind. And kicked out by Luke Del Corso. Whistle blown. Looks like it will be a sub for the Vikings. So Pantheus will have the throw-in. That one's sent in, headed by Warnier. Now that was looking for Boudre, but it was knocked away by Del Corso. Labate will win the foot race and he'll send it to Aravind. Still traffic out in front of the net. There's Michalski. He'll send it up for Moran. Good chance looking for Marcos Hernandez. As that one, a good chance as well, but picked up. Now here's Michalski back on the offense.
Moran was chasing after that one, just got tripped up. Obviously frustrated by that one. It could have been a good opportunity for the Red Devils.
Good touch there from Del Corso, but Pantheus gets the ball. And again, you're seeing the good defense here from Hunterdon Central, really only allowing 1 or 2 shots on goal at Schaffernick. Really good defense even on throw-ins, being able to kick it out of bounds in worst-case scenario, and really not allowing a good opportunity for South Brunswick.
The key to the throw-ins is just getting the ball on the ground as fast as possible. Those throw-ins have those balls up in the air. They're bouncing around. You just really need to get the ball down on the ground so it's easier to pass around, and that's what the Red Devils are doing a good job at on defense.
There was a good chance for the Vikings. But it's picked up by Del Corso off the foot of Pye, and it will be Pantheus again on the throw-in. You know, something I will say, I mean, we haven't really seen Fung touch the ball a lot for the Vikings. So obviously keeping their lead goal scorer under control as a slide tackle from Dendis, whistle blown. At the very least, it'll be a free kick in viable position here for the Vikings. Looks like it'll be Barry Solano on the free kick.
Big opportunity here for the Vikings, Robbie.
So Solano lines it up. Lets it fly, but it's blocked by the Red Devils defenders. There's Dennis on tight defense. Over Solano, knocked away by Aravind. Narrowly kept in. But whistle blown, it will be a corner for the Vikings. So another good chance. The Red Devils not able to knock it away as the pressure stays on here from South Brunswick.
The Vikings really got to make the most of this opportunity. This might be the closest they'll get in this first half.
There's a kick, but it goes into the side of the net. And it will be a goal kick for Schaffernick. So here's HC. He'll go to go back on the push. As working on the far sideline, it was intercepted by a Viking. That was Marcos Hernandez and Peter Labate. Here's a push. Sent upfield. But Brady Moreno lose the foot race. Kept in now by Hernandez. Here's Santos sliding. Kept it in. Now he'll go to Hernandez. Hernandez on the far side. Tight defense all around him. Only one way he could go, and it was intercepted. The pressure stays on from the Red Devils. Here's Matthew Santos. Midfield, lets it go. Boat wide, right of the net.
Really aggressive shot there from Santos. Took a shot from the football 20-yard line. And, I mean, maybe he just wasn't patient in that shot. Maybe he saw something we didn't see, Robbie. But either way, Santos missed really wide right. Maybe try to wait for some more strategic planning from the rest of the team.
You know, only up 1-0 here, but you're seeing the Red Devils on offense a lot more than your defense. So when you're this aggressive and the game seems, I don't want to say lopsided yet, but when it seems like you have that much more time on offense, you kind of have that availability to try to let one go and see if it pays out. So whistle was blown. It will be a free kick from midfield for South Brunswick. And that'll be number 27, Solomons Quinton, on the free kick. Sent deep in the box, headed by Dennis. That one hit off of Mike Hernandez. But knocked forward there by Hunterdon Central. That was headed by Pye. Moran was there but slipped. Of course, having all the rain the last couple days here doesn't help matters. So the Vikings will go back on the attack from around midfield. This one dumped in, but no chance for Arno Wanier. And it's picked up by Schaffernick. Here's Schaffernick, a really nice kick deep right to Moran. It bounces over his head. Fights through contact, knocked away by Quinton. Picked up by Santos through a pair of defenders. And that one knocked out of play. No, that's going to stay in, excuse me. So the Red Devils will go back on the attack now. That's Peter Labate on the far side. Looks inside for Santos. But it's picked up by Vikings number 12 of Yusel and Maher. Red Devils again. That one's dumped in, but it'll be picked up by Vega. And a turnover.
Good set of passes there from the Red Devils, really applying the pressure in the box. They passed around on that far side of the field, Robbie, trying to get something started. Jason Pye was waiting for it in the box, and Central just couldn't get a perfect pass to him. But overall, great strategic passing there from the Red Devils.
Well, you know, Lucas, there's really no worry on a turnover, even if say, the Vikings get a big kick, because the Red Devils on those balls up in the air are really good at able to regain possession. So you're seeing a nice amount of Red Devils subs getting loose over on their bench. We haven't seen a sub yet, as here's a chance for the Vikings, but it's off the crossbar on the football goalpost. Close call. Schaffernick was on the ground. Little lucky, the Vikings shot went high.
Yeah, the Vikings shot, it almost seemed like it was rushed, Robbie. Obviously, when you're that close to the goal, you want to take the shot as soon as possible. But overall, the Vikings shot just took off really fast. He could have took his time. Easy goal for the Vikings.
So a series of subs here for the Vikings, including Ashal Booney for the Vikings, a new goalie. That was knocked away by Quinton. Seems like the Vikings almost have gone to almost like a box defense, Lucas. Kind of all trying to stay surrounded, not really let a lot of Red Devils inside to get the ball and have a good opportunity. So here's Solomons Quinton again. Free kick. A rising line drive to the other side of the field. But again, on those balls up in the air, picked up by the Red Devils. That was Marcos Hernandez. Of course, we're trying to find room. He will to Peter Labate in the far sideline. Good look there in traffic for Matthew Santos. Thought Moran was curving over, but triple teamed and knocked back to midfield. Ervin now. There's Santos on the far line.
That was a lot of great passing toward the middle. Did you see that, Robbie? And then they finally passed it back out to Santos and Labate on the far side, trying to find somebody in the box, but nobody was moved up. Overall, Central just really applying that pressure with those great passes. I haven't seen a lot of missed passes, and that's really what makes soccer games, Robbie.
Well, absolutely. We talked about them having to be more aggressive, and they've mixed that while also being patient and letting plays develop. And when you're executing almost all your passes, that's what's going to happen. So Dennis will send it back to Del Corso, and HC will reset. Here's Mahalski. Good touch by Pyle, looking for Mahalski again, but it was knocked away by Viking number 11 of Solano. Here's Mahalski again, down the near sideline, almost kept in, but will go out looking for number 13 on Hunterdon Central, Brady Moran. So here's the throw-in. Scott a mile high off the foot of Noah Beelan. And looks like Pye maybe thought it hit off of a Viking. Did not. So just over 15 minutes of counting left here in this first half, Lucas. Still 1-0, Hunterdon Central.
With the way that Central is playing on defense, Robbie, I can't imagine that South Brunswick is going to score a lot. Whether they're even going to get a lot of scoring opportunities, that is. Central is just applying so much pressure on defense, forcing a lot of turnovers, forcing a lot of missed passes. Overall, Central just really doing an all-star job out on defense. So
that was Wanier. As Wanier does go down, needs to a turnover from Mihalski. Looked for Santos, but it was taken away. Fight on the far sideline. That's number 19, Rohan Gudeli.
Here come a bunch of subs, Robbie.
First time we were seeing subs the entire first half for Hunterdon Central.
And it looks like everybody's coming out.
So it's a brand new team here for Hunterdon Central. Just keeping those legs fresh, especially on a cold night like tonight.
Yeah, you said it. Fresh legs, Robbie. I mean, Brian Grubb is out there finally. Grubb is one of the better players out there on offense. Brian Grubb, 2 goals on the season, 3 assists. And, yeah, a bunch of other guys who are going to get some goals here tonight.
You also see Grant Frey right in front of you, as well as Jackson Hunt. So that one's headed by Grubb. Sent in deep by Quinton, but waiting is Schaffernick. So here's Grubb along midfield. Look to the end. I believe that's Colby Townsend.
Colby Townsend and Aaron Townsend are out there now, Robbie. It's going to be a really, really rough second half of this first half.
That was a shot by Aaron Townsend. But it goes through the football uprights. And will be another goal kick for the South Brunswick Vikings. Here's Al-Sharuni on the goal kick. That one's sent to midfield, headed by Colby Townsend. To the side, it'll be Aaron Townsend on the throw-in. To Grubb, among those lead goal scorers and those leaders on this team, you're seeing a lot of good chemistry, good development, and really good organization, though this one will be turned over. For how long, we're going to find out.
And, Robbie, something I noticed about this sub-in, they took the entire team out and then they put an entire new team in. And something that stayed consistent, Robbie, was the amount of seniors and juniors. It's about the same. They have an even mix of both seniors and juniors out on the field, and they did the same thing in the first quarter of the game.
So here's another push for the Vikings, but sent the other way there by number 21. That is Dominic Paniconi. So now here's That's Aaron Townsend looking up the middle, fight through several traffic. And here I believe that's Colin Decatur on the far sideline. Whistle blown. And it will be an HC throw-in. Sent deep looking for Grubb, but it's going to be out of reach. I'll go the other way for a South Brunswick goal kick. So unlike Hunterdon Central, you're kind of seeing subs go in and out pretty regularly for the Vikings. As there's Quentin again. Now to Colby Townsend on the far side. Up the middle, looked for his brother. Now here's South Brunswick. A push there looking for Siad Quassam. Fighting through contact there. That is Vadir Yain. Sent into the central defensive zone, but it's sent back to Schaffernick. And it'll be another reset for your Red Devils.
Yeah, it's kind of been a little bit of a back and forth here in the last couple minutes, Robbie. Neither team has gotten real close to the goal. They haven't had a lot of strategic passing, as I mentioned earlier. They haven't been playing around the box a lot. Both teams kind of just going back and forth in the middle. I think you might see a lot more of that in the second half as well.
Yeah, you saw Ryan Perone get a touch of the lone underclassman here, 400 in Central.
Yeah, and you said the lone underclassman. He's a sophomore. He already has 2 assists out on the starting field on the varsity level. So, Perone, I think you're going to see a lot of him in the upcoming years, Robbie.
So here's Brian Grubb again, midfield. Received a pass from Aiden Bazio. He'll go up the middle to Emmerin. And to Colby Townsend. We'll send it deep. Looking for, I believe that's Colin Decatur on the far side. Kicked away. And out of bounds.
Decatur, really strategic coming in. He jumped right off the bench, came in, kicked the ball, he passed it back, and then he moved downfield into the corner. That's just a great job of heads-up soccer, jumping right in as soon as he could. And overall, Decatur, yeah, good game from him so far, right off the bench.
So here will be a corner kick. I believe that will be Aaron Townsend. This one dumped in the box. It's headed by, I believe, a Viking and over the net. No, looks like it did go off of the Red Devils, so it will be a free kick for South Brunswick. And another sub coming in here for the Vikings. I believe that is number 15 of Adam Shostron. Here's Quinchin. Takeaway for Grubb. Sent it back to Hunt. You know, that's another thing, that these Red Devils, they're not afraid to send it back and try to reset a play. You'll see a lot of teams be fearful of that, not really wanting to get the other team to almost get that field position. But this Hunterdon Central team, confident enough not to worry about that.
Well, I mean, Central, they already have a 1-goal lead, Robbie, and they have that confidence building up behind that goal. And when you have a defense like this, Central can't be worried about going back and resetting. When they reset, they make more goals, they make more strategic passes, and overall more shot opportunities. The Red Devils, great job, as you said, Robbie, taking a minute and stepping back.
So that was Emmerich to Perone to Jackson Hunt, but can't keep it in bounds. So here's Quinchin again to midfield. Waiting is number 21 for the Vikings. There's Frey. Now here's Grubb. Grubb down the near sideline looking for Aaron Townsend. Going to be close. Barely kept in. Fights through contact from Quinchin. That goes past Grubb. Picked up by Farland Pierre. Piero fly number 21. Now to the far side. But intercepted by Colin Decatur for the moment. Fights through contact. Here's Colin Decatur up the middle. Decatur tripped up a little bit. Allows for a turnover. And a push the other way. Decatur's all over the place right now. I mean, he's up the middle. He's on the side. Offense, defense, you name it. Colin Decatur is there.
Yeah, and he's moving, too. He's moving fast down the sideline. He's really, like you said, Robbie, if you need him in a spot, he's going to be there.
So that one's dumped in here for the Vikings. Getting a foot on it was Jackson Hunt. And kicked away by Brian Grubb. Here's a good chance for Grant Frey. Frey up. Now sent it to the far side for Colby Townsend. Shot off. And goal! Colby Townsend, 2-0 Hunterdon Central.
Did you see that pass from downfield? Passed all the way downfield. It was passed up into the corner, passed across the field, across to Colby Townsend. Goal for the Red Devils, 2-0.
Well, you saw, I mean, again, the chemistry of not only being the same grade, but, I mean, Grant Frey, Colby Townsend, they've been playing together for a long time, and you saw it right there. And it's good for Grant Frey, realizing he doesn't have an open shot. There's 3 guys in front of him, but sees Townsend hustling on the other side of the field, able to get a shot off, and make it 2-0 Hunterdon Central.
And the goalie, I mean, he sat there, and he was like, what do I even do at this point? Colby Townsend and Grant Frey both have 4 goals on the season, so both of them easily could have taken on the goalie, and Grant Frey pass over, perfect pass to him, and Colby Townsend able to get the easy goal for the Red Devils.
So that is 12 points now on the year for Colby Townsend. Speaking of which, here's his brother along the midfield. We'll send in Jackson Hunt. Again, you mentioned they're not really fumbling any passes. I mean, just good kind of being organized, able to execute every play they try. Here's Grant Frey, but saved by Al Shabuni.
Great hustle in the corner. Grant Frey moving into the corner. It almost looked like the defender was just walking away with the ball. Grant Frey came hustling up the back, moved around him, took the ball away, and took the shot right away. It was just a great defensive play there from the goalie for the Vikings.
So here's a corner for the Red Devils, but knocked away by the goalie. You know, Grant Frey, I mean, he's so fast that not only is he agile enough to go and be able to go shred through defense, but then able to go hustle up the side and get a pass and then quickly get a shot off. So around the corner, headed, and there it goes! 3-0 Hunterdon Central. Hard to tell who that was. Looks like maybe Aiden Bazio, the junior. Now getting word it was Dominic Paniconi, the senior. You know, Paniconi, I mean, he's pretty much, he's one of those taller guys out there, able to use his height to his advantage and add yet another goal onto this one.
Yeah, it was weird because Paniconi is usually playing on the defensive side of the field, Robbie. You don't see him going after goals a lot. He hasn't had a goal on the season this year. Paniconi able to move in, get the 3rd goal of the day for the Red Devils using his head. See what I did there. Paniconi, goal for the Red Devils.
Well, yeah, you know, and I think this comes back to, I mean, we mentioned about halfway through this first half, a little past halfway, we almost saw an entire new team, 400 in Central, and it's showing. I mean, maybe these guys have a little more energy left than some of these Vikings who've been on the whole half, as here's a good chance. Grubb fighting through contact, but knocked away by Quinchin.
Great defense there from the Vikings. A great opportunity for Grant Frey to pass across the middle to Brian Grubb, just like he did to Colby Townsend earlier, and Brian Grubb just got defended really tough there.
You know, there was a good chance, almost an open field there for the Vikings, but you saw Aiden Bazio, you saw Jackson Hunt, you saw Dominic Paniconi all come out of nowhere, and that shows the strength of this HC defense. Here's another chance, but it's picked up by Perone. Now stolen by Sukrand. Now here's a cross, but kicked away there by Jackson Hunt. Back to midfield, and I think you're seeing now, as here's Ryan Perron, that these Vikings realize it's go time. I mean, you're already down 3 now. You gotta at least try to get something on the board before this first half comes to an end. Here's a cross, Colby Townsend, just wide. Picked up by Solomon's Quinchin. kept in here. As here's Brian Grubb, tripped up. No whistle. Now here's number 21 for the Vikings. He'll send it deep. It'll be a foot race. Schaffnick going to win that one and send it back the other way. Three minutes and 20 seconds and counting left here in this first half. Already a 3-0 lead for the Hunterdon Central Red Devils. So here's a throw-in for South Brunswick. Number 21 will take it back. Flick it off to Barry Solano. Here's Solano on the far side. No, excuse me, that is Aiden Fung. Sent the other way there by a Red Devils defender. Working quickly now is the Vikings. Says, here's DT Emmerich for your Red Devils. There's Grant Frey again, and he'll send it up the middle, looking for Colby Townsend. He'll keep it in, knocked over defender. And out of nowhere, here's Brian Grubb now. Sends it up for Aaron Townsend. In between two defenders, kept in by Grant Frey, shot off! And a good save by the Vikings goalie of El Shabouni. Another look in. Another hard fall there for Brian Grubb. As Jackson Hunt will try to send that to the corner. Maybe giving some time here to recuperate for Grubb. 2 minutes left here. And it will be a goal kick for Yusuf El Shabouni. So here's Brian Grubb on the push again. Grubb up the middle, looking to take this himself, shot off, and just wide. Almost past the diving El Shabouni, and it will be yet another goal kick for South Brunswick.
All of a sudden, Central is just firing it off, Robbie. They have so many shot opportunities in these last couple minutes.
Goal! Number 4 on the day. Off the corner from Frey. I don't know who knocked that one in. Looks like maybe it was Aaron Townsend.
And I was saying, Robbie, so many shot opportunities. I mean, Central keeping the momentum going. The train of goals are it's just flowing now, Robbie. Central just really applying the pressure, and it's almost as if the South Brunswick Vikings are just slowing down a little bit. They know that they have to pick things up in the second half, but overall, Central dominating this first half, especially this late first half.
Well, again, I mean, think about it. A lot of these South Brunswick guys have been playing for the full 40 minutes now, or 39 minutes. Meanwhile, the Red Devils maybe even playing for 15.
And that's because of Central's depth. We've talked about it in previous games. Overall, Central has so many guys with so much depth on the squad.
Here's Ryan Perone now, the sophomore. Shot off and just wide. Good chance for the sophomore.
So as the clock winds down, as I was saying, Robbie, the depth. Central, we saw they made that full switch. They took everybody on the field and took them off. And Central's able to do that, maybe even try some new combinations, Robbie. And you have Colby Townsend and Aaron Townsend who have been playing each other with their entire lives. And you're able to switch them out, play with other guys, and you have these very strong combinations to try to figure out who works best together.
Here's DT Emmerich now, gets another shot off, but this one will go high over the net. So, you know, again, I mean, you talked about how it's almost, again, an entire new team. Everybody got subbed off there about halfway through this first half. And you still have a lot of experience, a lot of upperclassmen. Again, Perone's the only underclassman on the team. As the horn expires, headed to halftime, Red Devils 4, Vikings nothing. We'll be back right after this.
We would like to take a moment to thank our corporate sponsors for the 2025-2026 school year. At the gold level, thank you to American Tire and Auto of Flemington, Britland Auto Body of Greenbrook, Coldwell Banker Realty, Dave's Collision of Flemington, the Gravity Vault of Flemington, Hunterdon Health, Mid-Jersey Orthopedics, Sandhill Dental LLC of Flemington, Scheibel's Plumbing, Heating, and Water Treatment of Hampton, Kepo Siding and Windows. At the silver level, thank you to Farmers Insurance Company of Flemington, Your Smile LLC of Flemington. At the bronze level, thank you to Dr. Pamela Souse, Optometrist of Flemington, Jersey Mike Subs of Flemington, Molesky, Eisenhut, and Zielinski, Attorneys at Law in Flemington, Moose Lodge of Flemington. At the red level, thank you to Mathnasium of Flemington, Lowe and Patel Orthodontics, and Panettieri's Pizza and Pasta of Flemington. And at the black level, thank you to Provident Bank of Flemington and Flemington Veterinary Hospital. If you would like to become a corporate sponsor, visit the Hunterdon Central website and click on the Community Menu tab to learn more.
For Colby Townsend. Shot off. And goal! Colby Townsend, 2-0 Hunterdon Central.
Hunterdon Central Regional High School, located in beautiful Hunterdon County, is a high-achieving 9th to 12th grade school district educating over 2,200 students from 5 different municipalities. We are an innovative educational community dedicated to the intellectual, social, and emotional safety and growth of all of our students. We are proud to have been named a National Blue Ribbon School of Excellence, ranked second in New Jersey for top public comprehensive high schools by U.S. News & World Report, received an AP School Honor Roll Silver Distinction. Our students are National Merit Scholarship semifinalists and commended students every year, and our students and teams have won a lot of trophies. And while we are very proud of these accomplishments, Hunterdon Central is more than awards. We are a welcoming school community committed to education, respect, growth, and support. And at Hunterdon Central, there is something for everyone. From academics to extracurriculars, we strive to offer something that will interest every student that enters our hallways. Look at our vast list of courses to choose from. Whether students are into math, science, English, history, or maybe they like business, art, or music, robotics, TV, or radio, we have something for every student at Hunterdon Central. Passionate about languages and culture? We had 118 students recently graduate earning the seal of biliteracy. We even offer 6 specialized academies through our magnet program in architectural design, biomedical sciences, computer science, engineering, media and communications, and robotics, and they are right here at Hunterdon Central. Students do not have to go to another school to participate in these unique academies. Central offers 18 different types of sports over 3 seasons with varsity, JV, and freshman levels, and we offer unified sports for students with and without disabilities. Our caring staff is dedicated to helping students succeed in every way. Please don't hesitate to ask questions and reach out if you need any help anytime. Welcome to Hunterdon Central.
And we're back here from Hunterdon Central Stewart Field, now 4-1 as the Vikings got on the board, fighting through some technical difficulties. Here's another big push from the Vikings.
So yeah, the Vikings were able to get one, Robbie. They're up on the board finally. You wonder what the coach talked to him about during halftime that got them that one goal. They played more aggressive in that one drive. And overall, Vikings just trying to get some more shot opportunities so that way they can at least get this game close.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's interesting. We're seeing it and mix here between kind of that first squad we saw in the first part of the first half and the second squad we saw finish out the first half. So an interesting mix is this one sent to midfield, be picked up by Brady Moran, but kicked out here by a Viking. That is number 19, Rohan Udeli. So here's Solomon's Quinchin. He'll send it off to Aishan Boudre. As the Vikings look to go back on the attack. Good slide tackle by Peter Labate to send it the other way. Here's DT Emmerin.
Didn't even look like that was Labate's intent, but he was able to slide and block that pass. Labate able to get Central back their possession.
So HC will reset. You're seeing a lot of aggression here on defense from South Brunswick. Have to wonder if that'll maybe open up some holes for the HC attack as they get closer to the net. But this will go back to Evan Schaffernick. And they'll hit the reset button yet again. So here's DT Emmerin now to Jason Pye. Pye will curl it in, looking for Moran, but it's headed by number 8 of Justin Kong. Picked up by Vega. And we're kind of seeing that back and forth we saw early on in the first half. Whistle blown. The rain beginning to fall. Of course, Lucas, we've been dealing with that nor'easter the last couple of days. Have to wonder maybe that'll impact the turf and in the game. So HC back on the attack now. That's Del Corso will find Emmerin. It will be knocked out by Isham Boudre. So kept in here by Perone. He'll go to Grubb. Grubb will dump it in, but whistle blown. And another offsides, much to the dismay of the stands. So free kick, and yet again will be Solomon's Quinchin. Here's Brian Grubb to DT Emmerin. Now to Labate. Labate to Pye. Knocked away. Picked up by Emmerin. Looking over his options. Looks to send it deep. No one was there. I think he thought maybe Labate would have curled in there, Lucas. So here's Peter Labate, now headed by Del Corso, whistle blown, and it will be a free kick for the Vikings. Just under 26 minutes left in tonight's game. This one sent deep, but the receive is Evan Schaffernick. Not a lot of work there. Sent right to him.
Yeah, Schaffernick hasn't even seen that much playing time, Robbie. I mean, he's been out on the field the whole game. But Schaffernick hasn't had to put in a lot of work today. Central's defense has been doing most of the work for him.
Absolutely. Here's a foot race. It's a 2-on-1 for Brady Moran, who went down. But no whistle. And we sent back the other day. That one, a little questionable, I think. So Quinchin sends this one downfield looking for Fung, but it's picked up now by Perone looking for Moran. Now here's Brian Grubb. Grubb to Moran. And knocked out of play. So it'll be a throw-in, and there is Mr. Big Arms, Noah Beelan. He'll dump it in, as usual, into the box. Here's Matthew Santos now, tries to get a shot off, but it's knocked away. And I believe it's going to be a corner here for the Red Devils. So a corner here, I believe that's going to be D.T. Emmerin. That one sent in over the head of Del Corso. Coming in was Labate, but couldn't get there. There's Aravind to Perron. So here's Luke Del Corso now. It's a foot race between Del Corso and Fung. Won by Del Corso and passed back to Schaffernick. Here's number 9 for the Vikings. That is Wanier. Vikings will look. You're seeing a lot of those Red Devils starting to get loose as this one's headed about right into the hands of Evan Schaffernick.
Now you see, Robbie, a couple guys getting warmed up on the Red Devil sideline. You wonder, are they going to do the full switch again to get more fresh guys out here? And you notice the last time they did that switch, it was around the 20-minute mark. So 22 minutes and 45 seconds left in this game.
As there was a shot off from Aaron Townsend, almost crossed over there to Jason Pye, but kicked just wide, and it will be a goal kick for the Vikings. A good chance there, Lucas. As you said, we'll see. I mean, again, first game of the county tournament tomorrow. A big game against 8-3 Wallkill Valley. So, no, you want to get fresh legs in the game, but you also don't want to let guys get tired and sore and cause for any potential injuries. As here's a free kick for Solomon's Quinchin.
Yeah, especially with a 4-1 lead right now, Robbie. You don't want to get anybody injured out there. But then again, Coach already did that full swap. Everybody on the Red Devils bench has played today.
Absolutely. And even for those guys that maybe don't play a lot, especially the juniors, and Perron's the only sophomore, but it's good to get playing time. And, of course, experience isn't going to hurt you, especially going into next year. But this year, far from over, a solid season, most certainly for Hunterdon Central. As here's a chance for the Vikings. Almost trapped off the leg of Peter Labate. And it will be a throw-in. It was close to the corner, but they're going to say it did go out on the side. So this one thrown in. Shot off. Saved by Schaffernick. Coming as a leg. And knocked away. Are you kidding me? Good defense from Hunterdon Central.
I don't know how that didn't go in, Robbie. There were about 3 opportunities for the Vikings to just tap that one in.
Yeah, Schaffernick was on the ground after that first save and almost had a wide open net. But again, showing how solid this Hunterdon Central defense is. As somebody just lost a pad. Something went flying. So AC will go back in the attack, try to get it out of the defensive zone. That's D.T. Emmerin. He'll go up the middle to Brian Grubb and tap to the near side to Peter Labate. Labate looking for Pye. A little hard of a pass, but it should stay in. It will. But we'll go out as Pye looked to cross it in over to Moran.
Jason Pye has kind of been that corner man tonight, Robbie. He's been working his way into the corner after those passes. And now you see everybody coming off, Robbie.
Here is squad 2 Not looking the same as the first hit. You saw a couple guys kind of on that first squad. But you called it, Lucas. I mean, just getting everyone playing time, a fresh set of legs, and would most certainly look for the Red Devils to add on here. You see Decatur coming back on, Paniconi, Dendis, Hunt, Frey, just to name a few.
Yeah, I don't even think that anybody has stayed on, Robbie. Everybody has got fresh legs now after halftime, and it might get ugly here, Robbie.
I believe the only one that did stay on was the throw-in man, Noah Beelan. As, speaking of which, right on call, there he is. So here's Marcos Hernandez on the far side. That one's dumped in, looking for Aaron Townsend, who's there to receive the pass. Tried to tap it over to his brother, but it was intercepted there by Vikings number 12 of Yusef Emahar. Here's Decatur, dumped in, looking for Mihalski, but it was kicked away. There's Hernandez. Now Colby Townsend in 2. He went down. No whistle. Here's Hernandez to the side. It can be a foot race. Townsend will beat Decatur. And now he'll dump it in. Looking for, I believe that's Grant Frey. You're already seeing that aggression from this fresh set of legs here in this kind of second squad for the Red Devils. This one's sent the other way, but it's headed by Aiden Bazio. Excuse me, that's Dominic Paniconi. Vikings still on the attack now. Shot off, but wide. Good idea on the cross there, looking for, I believe that is Vikings number 17. That's 12. That would be Yusef Emahar. So here's Decatur trying to get it back on the attack. Now there's Dendis. Good setup for Townsend, just a tad too far. So it'll be a throw-in for the Vikings. A pair of subs coming on. One of those would be Aiden Fung, and the other will be number 19 of Rohan Gudeli.
We expected a lot more from Aiden Fung tonight, Robbie. We looked at the stat sheet, and it said that he was one of the better offensive players out there. Obviously, the lead goal scorer for the Vikings, and Fung just hasn't gotten it started tonight, and that's really surprising for the Vikings. Maybe he'll get something started here in the last 17 minutes.
Here's a chance for the Vikings, but it's taken away by Marcos Hernandez. A good move. Now send up the middle for Colby Townsend. Won't win the foot race, and it'll be sent back the other way and out of play. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, though we already did mention it a little earlier about Fung, is that the amount of goals he has, Colby Townsend and Grant Frey both have the same amount. And it's not like that their scoring sheet's longer than the Hunterdon Centrals. So that should say something right there. As here's Schaffernick to the far side, looking for Noah Beelan. The shot off, saved by Schaffernick. And here's Colin Decatur on the near side to Aaron Townsend. Here's a throw-in for the Vikings. 16 minutes left and counting. Here's a good dump in for Townsend, but off the back of his cleat and sent the other way. Good chance for Hunterdon Central. You know, interesting enough here, Lucas, you're kind of seeing with this kind of all these subs for the Red Devils, you're seeing more aggression from the Vikings. As this one is set up the middle, looking for Marcos Hernandez, but it's going to be knocked away by number 6 of Isham Boudre. Here's a chance. That's Marcos Hernandez. Going to take it away. Try to hold on to it. Will do so as the rain really started to come down now. And here's a shot off. But waiting is Evan Schaffernick. And Evan Schaffernick really coming up big today to fill in for the injured Chase Reinhardt. Schaffernick, of course, most likely will be the starting goalie going into next year. As there's a good pass looking for Mahalski to Marcos Hernandez. Now to Frey on the far side. As here's Frey. Sends it back to, I believe, Mahalski. There's Colby Townsend now on the far side. You know, Lucas, soccer, one of those sports where you can play in the rain, and, you know, a lot of guys will say it's better to play in the rain. We'll have a little more fun sliding around on the turf. Same with football, so that's always kind of soccer really having to fight all elements, as we're seeing here.
Yeah, it doesn't even look like rain, Robbie. It's more of mist, and it's really coming down.
Yeah, it's really a mix with the wind. That's what you're going to get here in October, New Jersey. Or should I say New Jersey in October? So now here's Colby Townsend along midfield, but that one's going to be stolen by Yusel Amahar. Again on the push here for the Vikings. That one's dumped in, but no one's there. Schaffernick will let it go out. It'll be a goal kick. 13 minutes. As our Devils will try to send it back the other way. More so even wasting time. And that shows you the confidence in their defense, Lucas, about being able to really kind of be patient as there's a chance for the Vikings, but saved by Evan Schaffernick. Evan Schaffernick. All over the ball. He let out one goal on a tough opportunity.
Schaffernick showing off his athleticism. We've talked about how Chase Reinhardt really has that athleticism. He's the catcher for the Hunterdon Central baseball team, but Schaffernick is really stepping up his game and showing off his athleticism as well.
Absolutely. Here's a throw-in from Decatur to Marcos Hernandez. Decatur now looking for Townsend. Keeps it going forward. But as I say that, we'll take it backwards. So go back to Decatur. We'll send it back to Paniconi and reset for the Red Devils. I know it's 4-1, but I mean, maybe one more insurance call would probably really do dividends, as that one sent deep, but way out of reach of Aaron Townsend. As the rain continues to fall, and more in sheets now, mixed with that wind. Here's Paniconi. Sends it back to Schaffernick. And, you know, it's interesting. We really haven't seen that aggression towards the offense. You know, when we talked to the guys before the game against Gale St. Bernard's, they talked about really having to finish, making sure they're not going to roll over in that last quarter of the game. As here's a chance for Grant Frey. Frey went down. That one sent out of play. Frey right back up. Good to see he's fine. 11 minutes and counting left on the clock. As here's Colby Townsend along midfield. Now looking for a spot in the box. Kicked away, but for Frey, went down. And again, no whistle. That one, a good tap there by Vikings number 11 of Barry Solano. Here's a chance on the far side. Good defense. I want to say that's Labate. As here's Townsend. Off the foot of Decatur, picked up by Colby Townsend. Now to Colin Decatur. Decatur, one of those seniors. He's been really good the last 2 years on varsity for the Red Devils. And that's a good cross from Aaron Townsend looking for Mahalski. Now back to Hernandez, to Decatur. Tries dumping in for Townsend, but it was knocked away. So here's the Vikings again. Tries to get into the box. Good defense from the Red Devils. Will send it out of play. And almost into the woods.
10 minutes left to go, Robbie. If the Vikings want to get something started, they have to get it started now. Central's defense has just been absolutely dominant in both the first and the second half. And now that the rain has come down, you really see how much the Red Devils have really jumped up on defense, and they have not allowed a lot of opportunities for the Vikings.
There was a chance for the Vikings, but would have been a field goal if it was football. Wrong sport, so that one will be a goal kick for Evan Schaffernick. So there's a goal kick, set to midfield. Picked up by Mahalski. 3-on-2 here. Aaron Townsend, here's a chance up the middle. Smothered quickly, shot off, but just wide. So here's a corner. Colby Townsend. As that one will go to his brother. Nice move. Able to avoid a defender. Kind of looking for an open shot as that one's kicked out. Will be a corner kick. You know, if you can't see the number on the back to tell the difference between Colby and Aaron Townsend, you look at their spikes. I mean, you have Colby Townsend wearing that bright neon yellow. Aaron, on the other hand, wearing blue as it's headed, but saved by Vega. And he's sent the other way. Just under 8 minutes now. There's Colin Decatur. Marcos Hernandez. And that one off the foot of Decatur and out of play. You have to wonder again, I mean, Hunterdon Central, I mean, you've now seen a couple of big pushes in the last few minutes, but not as aggressive as we saw in the first half. You have to wonder maybe trying to waste some time as the whistle's blown. It will be a free kick for the Vikings. Taking that will be Barry Solano. Dumped in. Headed out there by a Red Devil. Miffed kick. Ball is up. Headed, and that one will stay in. Good job there by Solano, who then took some contact from, I believe that's Paniconi. And it will be a free kick from an odd position. Looks, I mean, almost going to mimic a corner kick here for Aiden Fung. That one dumped in, looked in, but swallowed up and kicked the other way. Was looking for Justin Kong, but the Red Devils defense read that one like a book. So Vikings still in the attack, but the whistle will be blown and will be offsides. Paniconi will get rid of that one quickly. We'll go to Townsend on the near side. We'll dump it in for Mahalski. Not going to win that foot race. Picked up by Vega. As that one's sent the other way. Waiting is Paniconi to put a head on it. Nice move from Colby Townsend, who will try to take up the middle, but kicked away by Kong. Kept on by Dendis. There's Hernandez to the far side to Frey. Still pushing now. Right there is Quinchin. And that one's taken away. Barely kept in, but now out the other way. So it will be a throw-in rather than a corner for HC. And looks like Noah Beelin got subbed out, so Maybe Aaron Townsend on the throw-in. Here's Colby Townsend now up the middle, swallowed up. Getting there is Aaron Townsend. He'll look to the side for Decatur, who's got to get on his horse, that one just went out of bounds. Decatur really tried to keep that one in. So it's going to be a throw-in. The HC faithful staying out here, fighting all the elements. So here's a throw-in from the Vikings. Here's Colby Townsend. Barely kept in to Dendis. Dumped in for Mahalski. Barely gets a foot on it to Aaron Townsend. Good chance. Now cross to Mahalski. A little too far. He'll try to get a cross off, but it's gobbled up by Vega.
Good move there from both Mahalski and Aaron Townsend, but overall, Central, you saw that strategic passing again, Robbie, and something about them, they didn't miss their passes, and if they did miss their passes, it wasn't by much. Central could have easily picked it up. Either way, Central playing a really good offensive game today.
So just over 200 seconds left here in today's game.
Interesting number.
That it is.
We're going to go with 3 minutes and 20 seconds left to go for the Red Devils.
So here's Aaron Townsend now, right in front of the net, but knocked away. That one kicked by Mahalski. Townsend tries to dump it in, but it's picked up by Vega. That one sent deep. Waiting is number 6, that is Isham Boudre. There is Marcos Hernandez. Now here's Mahalski, sends it down the far sideline. That one dumped in as the Red Devils trying to maybe put one more in the net. As the cherry on top, rain continues to come down here. Again, Red Devils 4, Vikings 1 here. 2 minutes, 20 seconds left in this one. There's Colby Townsend. Will keep that one in. Tries to get a move off there on Emahar, but Emahar able to steal it away. And now here's that aggressive offense we saw earlier in the game, Lucas. You're seeing a lot more time on offense than you are defense. As that one was fought for and sent the other way by the Vikings. Now here's a chance. That's Fung, but sent the other way by Decatur. Or excuse me, that's Dendis. Swooping in is Sikander. Looking up the middle. Good defense there from Decatur. And kicked away. I believe that was by Jackson Hunt, as here's Aaron Townsend up the middle. That one fighting there, that's Frey. To Townsend, excuse me, to Hernandez. Now here's Colby Townsend.
Townsend taking his time here, Robbie.
Looking, was had Hernandez right behind him. Tries to get a pass, gets a foot on it to his brother, whistle blown. And it'll be a Vikings free kick. 50 seconds and counting now in this one. Here's a push from the Vikings. You can see the turf's trying to get slippery out there by Solano. Here's a good chance for Solano. 3-on-1. Shot off, but off the hands of Shafranik. Another save for the junior.
Yeah, I'd say that just about does it, Robbie. Central just dominant on defense all game. They didn't allow any shot opportunities. I mean, they let up the one goal from the Vikings, but overall, Central, what a defensive game today.
And the corner will find the net. A goal there by the Vikings with 5 seconds left on the clock, cuts the lead to 2. I don't know. I see who got a piece of that one, Lucas. I would have to imagine that will do it here from Stewart Field.
5 seconds left to go on the clock. I doubt any team can get downfield in 5 seconds, but never say never, Robbie.
Well, it's still down 2. That's where that fourth goal really pays dividends. As here's Mahalski. We'll send it the other way. And that's going to do it here from Stewart Field. Hunterdon Central 4, South Brunswick Vikings 2. Lucas just, again, pretty much pure dominance. I mean, a couple goals let in, but aggressive offense, a solid defense. That's a recipe for success. Going into tomorrow is Hunterdon Central's next game, first round of the Hunterdon Warren Sussex tournament against Wallkill Valley. As for the Vikings, they will head on to Monroe, a part of another pool play game in the Greater Middlesex County tournament. Well, a big thanks out to our technical director, Ben Thompson, our camera woman, Brooke Kazabek. I'm with Lucas Reed. My name's Robbie Lubner. That'll do it here from Stewart Field. We'll see you next time on HCTV.